What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We are here on the dev build. That's why we've got 1,000,000 diamonds, all sorts of gold. Yes, we already did the sneak peek for HQ23. Now we're going to do one more sneak peek. In the last sneak peek, trying to say sneak peek as many times as I possibly can, I alluded to some chopper troops, could not show their stats, could not show the choppers themselves, just some static images. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get into warships, and we're going to look at those choppers in this sneak peek. Now, some of you out there, I just gotta take a quick moment, some of you out there are very, very anti-warships. Now, I gotta say, you need to back that up, because this is the perfect testing ground. If they were to add these choppers to the standard base and they sucked, you would have spent gold to use them, you would have spent XP to get them, you would have spent time to upgrade, and if they had to remove them from the game, it would have been a huge, huge issue. So using them in warships is a season and then it's done. So if something doesn't work, then they can just take it back to the drawing board, rejig it, and see what they can improve, what they can change. Maybe these choppers are only here for one season. Maybe they are a smash hit like the Bombardiers and make it to the main base. Anyways, this is something that is completely underrated, I feel like, from the dev standpoint. The devs have basically built in this beta platform that we get to play and enjoy, and if something sucks, they'll tweak it. So, speaking of tweaks, they have made some major changes to the warships. As you can see here, they have actually locked, so you can't get to certain ranks. You can only get to Legendary 1 5 days from now, for example. You can only get to Legendary 2 6 days from now. You can only get... Anyways, I'm not sure. This is the dev build. I'm not sure exactly how accurate this trophy road is, but they've actually locked it so you can't get all the way to Legendary X until 14 days from now, for example. What that's going to mean is that players can't get to Legendary X tomorrow, park their account, and never play again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that rolls out, how that pans out. It's going to be very, very interesting. It seems like an interesting change. Now, what they've done, if we go all the way back down here, it actually takes 40 stars to get from rank 1 to rank 2, but you can get as many as 15 stars in a single attack, I believe. Please don't quote me on this. They say that we can get 10 stars plus 5 bonus stars if you have your first win and then a win streak, so maybe you can get as many as 20 stars for a single attack. And now, the longer your losing streak goes, you can go from 0 to 10, depending on how far you are in the ranks. All sorts of details there that we're going to have to mess around with. Playing in the dev build, it's basically just me attacking against me. Like, I've literally got 2 devices sitting here, and I'm going to attack against myself. So, tough for me to give you a concrete answer on how things are going to work, or how these ranks are going to work. So we're going to have to wait until this is live, which should come in the next day or so. I can't see the exact timer as far as when that's going to happen. But they've made some changes based on some analytics, based on some player feedback. So again, Warships being that testing platform, but also being that just where you can attack constantly over and over again. So this should be fairly fantastic. But nonetheless, that's sort of irrelevant at this point. Those are the things we're going to have to wait until the live game comes. For now, let's look at the choppers.
Get to the choppers!
Get to the choppers! Yes, it's time to get to the choppers. Now, this is the dev build, so I can't say for certain this is the exact tech tree we're going to see, but if this is the tech tree, it's brilliant, because they have made it so that you basically have to go through the choppers. They didn't put them on some dead-end street. Like, where these mines are sitting here is a dead-end street. So, the fact is, we basically have to go through that. This is the Rocket Choppa. This Choppa... I can't legitimately say Choppa with a straight face.
Get to the chopper!
Anyways, so what we're going to do here is, this is the Rocket Choppa. It does not have a lot of health. Now, this chopper basically... I can't keep saying chopper. Come on, people. Anyway, this chopper is... when it explodes, it drops 2 Zookas just straight down, which is going to be pretty interesting. And then later on down the road, we have the heavy chopper, and this chopper has a ton of health. It's sort of like a scorcher, but when it explodes, it drops 8 heavies. Now, when you upgrade it, it doesn't drop any more heavies, and one thing to note, none of these mines counter against the choppers at all. So my general impression, my first impression, is that if these choppers stick around, we're going to see a new type of mine that will counter against them before they come to the main base, because right now none of the mines counter them. A lot of defenses, for example, the boom cannon does target it. There are only 3 prototypes that target it. That is the doom cannon, the shock blaster, and the laser. So if you've got a grappler, it's not gonna grab this. Also, mortars don't attack them, because obviously the mortars have to come down in order to attack. So when you're attacking a base, let's just get into an attack. We're gonna use just 4 and 4. We're gonna hit battle. I'm gonna load up my second account here. So I'm just trying to juggle 2 devices. It's fairly difficult. I can't do 2 things at once. I am not a magician. I'm not a very good multitasker here. So on my other account, I am going to hit attack as well. The other account has a far, far better base than what you saw in my Warships loadout. And now we're just going to wait. Come on. Finding opponent. Come on. We have slightly different engine rooms. Best player, yes, that's me. So as you can see here, very, very intelligent, very, very obvious as far as which buildings target air. So you're not going to have to guess. You're not going to have to commit all this to memory. So this is very, very well done on their part. So this base, mortars do not target air. Flamethrowers do not target air. Everything else basically does. We're going to drop bullet out front. Now, this is not a troop combo that I recommend, but we're going to drop all of these things. As you can see, they do cost GBE to land. And now we're just going to wait. Now watch this. The heavy choppas have so much health, and you see this? They're just randomly dropping heavies. Every so often they drop heavies, which just helps them stay alive. These rocket choppers are in behind, throwing down all sorts of rockets. I'm going to mute my audio because it just sounds like something's kind of wonky here. Hopefully you guys didn't have to deal with that. If you did, my apologies. But as you can see here, I have lost a total of 0 troops so far. Bullet probably should have used energy drink, but we're not doing a ton of damage. This is fairly slow. That rocket choppa is throwing down some pestering rockets, but none of those mines are doing any damage at all. Things are exploding. Now, right now, things are not... The dev build's a little bit slow, a little bit laggy. Things will be quicker on the live build. And we've lost 0... Actually, that's not true. We've lost 2... what are those things called? Rocket choppas. That's why we have these Zookas sitting here. So even if you put all air defenses, you definitely need to defend against ground as well, because when they explode, they drop some Zookas. These heavy choppas also drop heavies at random, it seems. I don't know how often that happens. Look, here comes, we got 8 heavies dropping. So I don't know, maybe if there will be more choppers in the future that drop different troops, but for now we've got heavy and Zooka, and we are just completely walking across this base, no problems at all. Now, the way that I foresee this going is that a lot of different attacks people have been using, like Gramps or Bombardiers, with rifles and Kavan. If you can replace your rifles with these heavy choppers, you're going to have basically a scorcher that flies above, and certain defenses can't attack. So those grapplers, for example, can't grab your chopper. And then when it explodes, it's going to drop heavies, which are, again, going to protect your Gramps, going to protect those Bombardiers. So lots and lots of different options. And I don't know exactly how strong these are, because, again, I just can't... Trying to wrap my mind around how strong they're going to be when we can only play it in the dev build. I would be lying my face off if I told you they're going to be super OP or if they're going to be something to mess with, because I have to see them in live gameplay to see just how strong they are. So, I mean, we managed to absolutely walk through that base without basically any difficulty. So, I feel like these heavy choppers are going to be super, super useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more attack, and we'll see. I'm going to quickly go through my tech tree. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to be the exact tech tree that we're going to see, and you'll see that I've got like 12 million upgrade tokens. That's because we are sitting here on the dev build. But what your takeaways from this are, in my opinion, are A, we've got a new troop, which is super, super op. Looks like it's going to be ridiculously, ridiculously fun. And B, they've made some changes to warships, and those changes should make it so that people are going to attack all the way through the season. You're not just going to be able to get to Legendary X and park your account, and I think that should keep people coming back. I know that there was some complaints from players where they would just get to Legendary or Legendary 3 or Legendary X or whatever it is and then just stop playing. And I think this will keep people coming back because you can't get all the way to the end in the first 3 days of the season. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do one more attack. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load a couple of these heavy choppers, and then I'm going to load all of Gramps, and we're going to switch out and bring Kavan in, and we're going to bring back Second Wind. Now, what I want to do quickly here is show you the stats on these heavy choppers, because I'm very curious. Now, it takes 20 space. No, that's not true. We can't see exactly how many landing crafts it takes. There we go. 14 spots in the landing craft. So, let's just check the other one as well. Let's go back here, see how many spots in a landing craft it takes. So, right now we can get 27 in a landing craft level 23. So, maybe in the future we'll be able to get 2 choppas in one landing craft.
Get to the chopper!
I don't know how many of those Arnold Schwarzenegger get to the choppas I can throw in before I get a YouTube content strike, but I'm going to try and put as many as I possibly can, because anytime I read the word choppa, I just have Arnold Schwarzenegger stuck in my head. So maybe in the future, HQ 24, 25, 26, we're going to have landing craft level 24, which is going to get us 2 choppers. I don't think that's a coincidence that we're looking at 14 per unit. So anyways, glossing over that, let's have a quick look. 1950 health for these rocket choppers, but look how much damage they do. They do 500 damage per shot, plus your statues, plus your boosts, all of that sort of stuff. And now over here, let's look at these heavy choppers, and we're going to have a quick look into here. And they do 29 damage per shot, but they shoot very quickly, much like machine guns, and they drop heavies and spawn heavies. Now, I don't believe that this chopper back here actually spawns troops. Let's see here. No, it does not. So this is not going to spawn any troops. It's only going to drop Zookas when it's destroyed, whereas this heavy chopper is going to actually spawn troops. Now, every 5 seconds, it's going to spawn troops, very much like Everspark, where she spawns critters, but you can only have 10 heavies at a time. So let's get into an attack. We're going to get all of these things going. We're going to find opponent here, and we're going to do one more attack, and then we're going to call it a night for this sneak peek. Now, I got to say, this is game-changing. All along, the Boom Beach team said they were never going to have flying troops. We've now got flying troops. Now, this is great news, I think. They have reevaluated all of the game, trying to find new, fun, exciting, interesting things. So, Boom Beach, I am very, very impressed. I'm excited about this, and I hope this makes its way to the main base. It might not make it today, it might not make it tomorrow, might need some troops, it might need some different iterations, but it should be fairly awesome. Now, we're going to drop, you see that? As soon as we change off the flying troops, you see how the buildings change? Very, very cool. We're going to drop our flying troops up front. Then we're going to drop Kavan, and we're going to see if maybe, just maybe, so I'm very curious to see what Second Wind brings, because is it going to bring, can he actually heal the Chopras? I don't think he can. It looks like he's not only healing the heavies, not the choppers. So a little bit interesting there, a little bit of a tidbit. I don't have shocks, otherwise I would probably be shocking that shock blaster. Now, Second Wind, he went and died. So I was very, very curious to see if maybe we could drop. Does artillery even hit them? I don't think it does. So, can you actually barrage on top of a Choppa? We're going to wait a second. I'm going to wait until I get enough GB. But you see this? You see how all of our Gramps are staying back? Now, here's what you need to be aware of. You see those mortars? Those mortars are completely ignoring our choppers and shooting at our gramps. So you're going to have to be very, very aware of what attacks ground, what attacks air in that scenario. Now I'm going to throw a barrage on top of my... Look at that. Barrage does not come anywhere close to hitting our choppers. So that's going to be super, super interesting as far as how that works. Now, as you saw, Dr. Kavan does run forward and try to heal those heavies that the choppers drop, so that's going to be a bit of a concern as well, but I feel like these choppers with Gramps are going to be a fairly strong troop combo. I can't say for certain, obviously, because I'm just attacking a static base that I set up in about 3.5 minutes. But overall, we've lost a total of 2 Gramps just because I'm not being super careful and we're ending up hitting some mines. But again, choppers plus Gramps gonna be a troop combo that definitely requires a look. And it's going to be interesting. So let's claim that box. Now, one quick note. In this box, you'll see right here, we've got a hero token. They realized that all of the players jumping up to HQ 23 are suddenly going to be in need of those hero tokens. So they've thrown hero tokens into that chest, which is going to make it so that you can max all of your abilities. The number one complaint as far as heroes I've seen from players is that there are a shortage of hero tokens, so Warships will now give you all those hero tokens you've been lacking. So I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if we can see exactly where those start to come in. Let's look at the chests here. We can't actually look at the chests from lower levels, unfortunately, but you know what? Let's pause. I'm going to pause here quickly. Okay, so I have reset my rank, and all the way back in the wooden tier, there are some hero tokens. So it's not like you have to get to legendary just to upgrade your heroes in the main base. So this is very, very attractive for those players who don't play Warships all that much. You can get all sorts of hero tokens in here and get those heroes upgraded, get your taunt to level 6, or get your explosive charge to level 3, or whatever it might be. Anyways, that is my sneak peek on the Warships. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions, any comments, any criticisms, anything, I suppose, please do let me know in the comments. Otherwise, that's it. That's all. Flying troops are here. I assume some sort of new mine has to be developed at some point, but the thing is, right now, out of the gates, we have lots and lots of buildings that target flying troops, so that's not a big concern right away. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I'm Zedmont. This is your sneak peek for December 1st. We are officially 24 days away from Christmas. Hopefully you've got your Boom Beach advent calendar. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm Zedmont. Talk to you later. Thanks for coming in. Click that like, share, subscribe, click the bell, all that sort of fun stuff. As always, I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.